You're live. You might be live. You hope you're live. You hope you're audible. You hope you're loud enough. Okay, this isn't going to be full disclosure. This is not going to be the video where I hold up a bunch of boots and rotate them around again. That was, kind of I thought a funny joke last time, and I don't know how many people actually cared about that video. Obviously, when you make a video called boot rotation, you're typically talking about the boots that you intend to wear, and I wore some of them and I didn't wear others maybe, and stuff gets added in as it comes in, and other stuff, I don't know, doesn't feel good or doesn't suit the needs or whatever and doesn't get used after all. None of that is really what this video is about. I was watching another long video where I forget which parts were the host's opinions and which parts were the guest's opinions. I have a handwritten page of notes that I can barely read because I was just kind of scrawling as I was watching. And he had brought up an interesting point, though, what I'm calling the collection goals. Now, that doesn't mean I'm totally methodical about my personal collection goals, but maybe this is like a jumping off point for those of you who are not inclined to watch that kind of a video because it's way too long and involved, and hopefully this one won't be that to a degree, but not just me rambling. There's an actual point to some of this. One would hope. I don't know. I mean, there's no one particular viewer I try to target, but most of my viewers seem to be, men over 30 who only either care about Thursday boots or work boots, and not a lot of, I don't know, other kind of viewers that I would think I would attract with some of my other videos or whatever. So might as well do a boot video. And I had said that I might try and do a Q&A sometime during the holiday season, and whether or not I'll, bother trying to do that, I don't know, because judging from the comments, I think I attract a fair portion of people who like a different style boot video than the style I do for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what that is. If, they only want to see the boot, but a lot of times in videos where they only show the boot, you don't really get to see as much of the boot as you'd like to see. I try to show as many angles of the boot as possible. I see a lot of boot videos that, sorry, but you can't just regurgitate the company's marketing and call that a video. I mean, I had someone complaining that, I was holding up too many boots and saying they don't fit. Well, if they don't fit, I'm going to mention that they don't fit. I mean, if you want to scroll ahead to the part where I'm talking about that specific boot, then do that. I'm not stopping you. It's pretty obvious when you go along the little bottom of the screen, if you haven't figured out how YouTube works yet, that, you can see kind of where in the video the pictures change for the most part. So when you don't see the boot you want to see, and I seem to be talking for 10 minutes out of a 20 or 40 minute video, then, yeah, go ahead, scroll ahead. I'm not holding it against you. Do you want me to just lie about the boots and, tell you that, Thursday boots are the greatest boots ever because they have a Goodyear welt and they usually come in pairs? Okay. There's 50 million videos already doing that, and I don't really have that much against Thursday boots as a boot. I was going to say thirsty boots because it's kind of, their marketing is a bit thirsty, but I don't think that the product is the worst boot ever. But I had started, a couple years ago now. It's been almost 2 years or over 2 years. I'm not exactly positive when I did my first video, but it was around New Year's. It was actually on New Year's one day, but I wasn't talking about boots yet. So I think that's almost 2 years exactly, or something. Anyway, and at the time, I wanted to just talk about the boots that I had, and I didn't really intend to just acquire more and more boots for the sake of a boot channel. Now, I have acquired some boots, try and do head-to-heads, and I haven't kept up on all of those, and I haven't done a lot of wear review videos where I've really put in a lot of hours on a particular boot because I've changed boots several times in the course of a week or a month or whatever, where I don't have an accurate count on 100 hours or 1,000 miles or whatever it, is supposed to be the thing. But anyway, getting back to the video, more to the point, like I said, the idea in the collection that they were positing was, kind of like, are you buying, if you're going to buy boots, if you're going to buy more than one pair of boots, if you're not just going to buy one pair and work in them all day, every day, and never ever rotate your boots or anything, then again, if you're that guy and you're watching this, hopefully this will inspire you not to try and buy, 90 pairs of boots or something, but to definitely buy 2 or 3 good pairs of boots that you can rotate for work, even if you're not going to wear casual boots. And if you are a casual boots guy, maybe why there are boots that would suit you better that aren't thirsty boots and are, some other company maybe. And so I'm doing this video because the other boots that I ordered hadn't come in yet either, too, also as well. And some other ones came in, but they're not really worth a video on their own or whatever, at least not right now. And I did 2 Grant Stone videos already this week, and one of them only like 5 people watched. So chances are you already know about Grant Stone if you're still watching here at almost 7 minutes in. Okay, so anyway, so the criteria, the one guy was saying he was targeting to own 35 pairs and no more of heritage boots. So that's a specific category. What other kind of boots he has, I don't know. 5 brown, 5 tan, 5 olive, 5 blue, 5 burgundy, I believe, and 5 gray, and then some wild card pairs could be black. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm not copying that. I don't have that much interest in tan boots, but I do have tan boots because a lot of the military boots that I bought were already tan, and the one pair of Chukka boots. I would be a little bit more interested in some olive boots if I can find ones that I want. More on that later in maybe another video, maybe not this one. If I ever end up getting some that are actually olive instead of the couple pairs of kind of green ones that I do have. Blue, no, that's not a boot color. That's, to me, that's just random. Burgundy, well, I do have the one pair now, but I never got the Loke ones. I talked about this when I got the Edward boots. So another Grant Stone video, yes. And 5 gray. I don't have any gray boots. I do have, I think, a pair of gray shoes. And then black, I do have black boots, but again, none of them are really high quality except for the one pair of whites boots that smash my feet that I complain about every time I see them mentioned by Roseanneville or anybody else. And then, of course, he doesn't specify in heritage boots which ones he means are, I don't know, Red Wing versus Super PNW heavy duty, but I'm assuming most of them he means Franks or whites, if memory serves. I shouldn't say assuming because I'm sure he told the names of the brands and I just don't remember. But what does this say? I'm trying. Oh yeah, I forgot to make this joke earlier when it would have been better. Rather hear people who don't know anything about boots make boot videos. Although I do sometimes watch those, and I don't think they're terrible because all terrible anyway. Because usually they're by guys who do actually use the boots in the capacity more similar to how they're supposed to be used, and they're complaining about why they failed or why they ended up having to get this particular style or something, as opposed to cafe hipsters or whatever they're called, this, the desk jockeys or whatever, who bought the mega boots and can barely wear them, but they want to look cool. Like I don't see I'm sure they're out there, but I don't see as many videos by those guys that are very informative. I mean, they might know more about the leathers and the things of that sort that I know, so I can, watch it and learn a bit from that and determine which of those brands I think are worthwhile. but in terms of like how they actually perform, I have to watch the guy who's like, well, these are by this brand, and I don't know if they're good or not. We'll see. You know, like, okay, as long as that guy does a follow-up video, it's very helpful because then we see how they actually survived or didn't survive. Uh, you know, and unfortunately, most of those guys are less motivated to make follow-up videos. They make one or two, and then you never see them again. Whereas Cafe Hipster guy has a new pair of boots every other day, even more than I can ever keep up or would even want to. And so I'm already past 35 pairs of boots easily, but not all heritage boots, not all high quality or expensive boots. I mean, like I've done plenty of commentary and boot videos about stuff that I got at Big Five for $40, and Payless shoes and whatnot. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all that. But okay, in the actual rundown then to get to that point finally, and we're only at 11 minutes, so this isn't horrible, right? He was saying, okay, first criteria could be shape, and then based on shape or following from shape could be the last style, like a Munson, a round, bump, almond, or chisel toe shape would be, a subdivision of the shape and the last shape or whatever. How much toe spring, arch support, heel height. Okay, so obviously, again, the one boot I'll show. If you're buying standard regular boots, you're not going to have this curvy bit underneath. You're likely not going to have a super high logger or cowboy heel. You probably won't have this much aggressive tread. If you're intentionally buying a more casual boot instead of trying to wear this as a casual boot. So people who are looking for these specific features shop for these specific features and pay extra for these specific features. And then the toe shapes, obviously there's more rounded, and then there's your pointy cowboy boots, and then there's your flat square cowboy boots, and then there's your, like I said, I'm bringing a bunch of boots. What did I do this? Combat boots. So here you've got a bit more of a lace to toe style, right? And so a lot of the guys are getting boots that are similar to this, and they might even have an extra lace out here, and the monkey boots that are becoming all the rage. Now, almost every boot company I talk to has been telling me that lace to toe models are just better for aesthetics and not great for performance. And then, of course, you've got your standard old style combat boot kind of thing going on. I think I've shown these in videos before. This one being a little bit insulated, so that's another feature that you could maybe be looking for. With winter coming in, these are, I don't think these are steel toe, but they do have a toe. But also, if you're buying work boots, steel toe might be a thing. So again, work boot versus casual boot, two kind of different categories. He was talking strictly about heritage boots, so they didn't get into every aspect of that memory serves. Anywho, so if you're making a list of holes to fill in your, gaps in your either style wardrobe or your work collection, like hopefully this channel is somewhat helpful in both of those regards. Yay. So that's why I'm doing this now for the three of you who might sit through this. Okay, so style, again, service boots versus plain toe versus cap toe versus, and I didn't bring in those Thursday ones, but 685 people or something supposedly watched that video, so you already know what a cap toe looks like. Then again, favorite outsoles, favorite styles of heels, block heels. Let's see, it says spoon, bevel, dress, woodsman, which is, I don't know if that's what exactly this is. This is the woodsman heel, but I don't know if that's a spoon bevel or not. Like I said, I don't worry about all that. I look at the picture on the website, and I call in and work, go through it with whoever answers the phone, or sometimes I try and place the order on the computer if I think I've figured it all out. And so far I've gotten mostly the boots I was trying to get, so I think I'm doing okay. Plain toe versus cap toe. We said that already. Outsoles, block heel, Cuban SL Dogger. I don't know what is the difference between that and the cowboy heel, but they're similar. And then there's a block logger, which is a less tapered version of this, I think. I'm not sure. So yeah, you can learn all that kind of stuff from other videos or calling the actual companies that make the heavy duty boots. Brands. Okay, so obviously I've gotten a few more brands than I kind of ever thought I would, although half of them I think were not dead ends necessarily, but not necessarily brands that fit correctly or offered exactly what I thought I was getting. You know, it was kind of a little bit like, but I had to kind of navigate that and accept it because other companies either cost too much or didn't fit right at all or didn't offer any size below, you know, an 8 or 9 or something. So they're saying, you know, is there brands that you are looking forward to, you know, to getting or that we would like to try? So that's definitely a list you could make. Like a lot of these guys that aren't fashiony still do the same thing. They want to compare every PNW brand even more than I do. Like I just kind of wanted to settle on the 2 or 3, and then I kind of had some roadblocks with those, so I haven't tried them all. Let's see, what is this? I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Oh, let's see. Oh, and I had one unsubscriber during that other challenger of the videos. So apparently they think, you know, Thirsty Boots is every bit as good as other better brands, and they didn't like my video. I don't know. Could be, don't know. If you're gonna, you know, dislike or unfriend or whatever, you know, maybe tell me a little bit more why. One was not about boots. They wanted me to stand up and show my jeans. And I don't know if that's because they're a weird pervert or they're trying to see how the sizing or the fitting looks. Chances are I wasn't wearing any of the jeans I was talking about in that video while I was making that video. I was probably wearing shorts or pajamas or something because I don't know what time of the year it was or what was going on, but yeah, usually I'm not actually wearing the thing that I'm talking about specifically because then I can't show it to the camera in all its glory and point at parts of it. Especially not if it's down below the what do you call it? The hard deck here for Maverick to can't go below that, Mav. It's there for a reason. And then another things to avoid at all costs. Of course, like I said, now those pitfalls, you can't necessarily know that in advance. That's why we have all these boot videos where we talk about which brands stink and which brands could be better. And I just saw a video earlier about some Georgia boots, and I had done positive reviews about Georgia boots based on the couple that I got that aren't probably that great a quality, but will be fine for most of what, you know, somebody like me might need them for, because I don't necessarily always need this. And for what, a third of the price or something, or maybe even less. But then he had some that looked like they were way better leather. Now it sounded like they cost a little bit more than the ones I got, but he had a coupon or something. And so now I'm kind of like, oh shoot, maybe I should check out a different version of Georgia brands after all, but not this week, you know. I might go and try to see if they have them at some place like Boot Barn or something so I could see them in person and then discuss it, but I'm not going to order them when I have half a dozen pairs of work boots I haven't even worn yet or something. Okay, so yeah, like I said, having a strategy, like I said, his limit of 35 pairs, that's a lot of boots to start with. And I have, like I said, I have way more than that already. And so I should have started with a strategy that was lower, at least until I had a chance to wear more of them. But they're boots. It's not like they expire. You know, they'll get old and they'll get crummy before I'll probably wear all of them out. But I'll wear most of them within a couple of years. It's not going to be the issue. Because again, when I was talking about combat boots, I used to be more active and I would grind through a pair of those in 2 or 3 months, no problem. I'm not grinding through them that often because I'm not hiking as much as I was. And I would imagine I'm not going to grind through these anywhere near as fast as I ground through those, which of course is the point in spending the extra money on these in the first place. But if I don't wear them every single day because I don't need to wear them out, because I don't, some of them need to be broken in supposedly, and others I don't just fit, like this fit. So I'm kind of on the fence about how much of this break-in period is even legitimate. Either the boots fit or they don't. So if you're complaining that I'm complaining that they don't fit, it's like, well, you can wear your boots for 100 hours all you want to try and break them in, but I don't think they're ever going to actually be comfortable. We'll see. Some people say that, oh, they're like a glove after you've worn them for 200 hours. Well, by then, any warranty would have expired. Even my mom joked about that, like, oh, what a clever ruse, like, was sucker born every minute, I think was the old phrase. And I'm not saying that, they're all that bad, but the market trends have shown that, as I was just watching another video about the same, or maybe it was the same video, I don't know. We're discussing about how, certain boots are, including Thursday potentially, and some of the formerly, reputable heavy duty brands are technically making more disposable boots and trying to pass them on as boots you'll have for 20 years. You probably won't, but you'll probably still get your money out of them to a degree if you're really wearing them and really, again, using them for the intended purpose. I don't think that just because you can't resole a pair of Thursday boots probably more than 2 or 3 times for the average person, you still didn't get your money's worth, because they're still only $200. Like the other ones I got were more money, because some of them were more fashiony and some of them were more heavy duty, but they weren't that much more money. So, but again, you can still get better boots in that higher price range, starting maybe not at that price, but in that price range. So that's what I was trying to say. And if you have a problem with that, then you're the idiot. Waste your money all you want. Because I did buy the Thursday boots and I'll use them as I use them, but I won't use them the same way I use this. So will I get more of my money's worth out of this one or that one? Well, I'll wear that one maybe more. So maybe, again, I did like 4 videos about this with the whole conversation about cost per wear and minimalism and capsule wardrobes and stuff. So if you really want to hear about that, those videos I did, I think back in April, somewhere in there. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, if you have a budget and you don't want to be, Dale's Leatherworks where you have the wall of boots behind you, but you want to have a decent collection of, more curated boots than some of the random junk I've thrown in, to the mix. It's not that hard to do now. I mean, like, some of these videos though, it's not as much bad with boots as I think it is with, like, oh, this particular denim jacket and this particular selvage pants or whatever, and then so this guy does this video, so then this guy has to do this video, and they all chase each other around, all covering the same exact products. And I've been curious enough to buy some of them, but not most of them, because it's like, I'm not going to totally change my whole outfit or attire or whatever just to test every single product. If he says it's great and it's worth $200 for a pair of pants, that's fine. But yeah, most of my pants don't cost that much for a reason. But I do think that spending that money again on boots, I think this is going to last a lot longer than a $200 pair of pants, no matter how you slice it. I could be wrong in some cases, and I still don't care. Okay. So then he was talking about colors. Like I said, I don't have all of these colors. I don't intend to get all of these colors. The one guy was saying, one of them was saying something about, he owns too much brown, or how much brown is too much brown, or something like that. You need different colors, 15 plus pairs or something. And then and I was like, I think I don't remember the exact entire thread of the conversation, but boots are not sneakers. Okay. I don't, like I said, I don't want blue ones. I don't want red ones. I do mostly want brown ones because brown goes with more of most wardrobes than black, unless you're one of those guys who only wears all black and throws in gray tie or something occasionally. Okay, then only get black shoes, fine. But the rest of us, brown is not that boring per se, and it's the, I mean, I guess it's the safe color, but it also looks better overall than black boots because, again, unless you want to look like you're in combat boots all the time. I hear your mama wears them. Ha ha ha. Okay. 20 shades of black, 20 shades plus black. Yeah, I don't know, something about too many shades of brown. And then add some black ones is, kind of the normal. Well, yeah, it's a default. I agree. But like I said, I can't wear olive with everything, even if I can find olive. I can't wear burgundy with everything, even though it's easier to find burgundy. Like I said, gray and blue are just off my list almost entirely. And so, yeah, there's shades of brown, and this is not my favorite shade of brown. This was the quick ship version. There are other shades of brown that I like better. But again, this is not a boot that I'm wearing to try and impress people at the restaurant. This is the boot I'm wearing to go up a mountain. Okay? So I can live with it. And no, I don't get tired of brown. That's why most of my boots and jackets are brown leather. And I'm actually trying to match this to a jacket if I'm also wearing a brown leather jacket. I want that. It would be a lot easier to match this with a black leather jacket, but I only own like 2 leather jackets that are black, and neither of them are technically my size anymore. Although I could still wear both of them unzipped. Then they talked about the double midsole being more important for men well over 200 pounds. I don't know what exactly constitutes the double midsole. I assume this is a single midsole, and I probably don't have any double midsoles, and all this stuff about again, back to the break-in stuff. I don't know all the particulars, and then I don't know what is the difference exactly between the Predator orange and the brown Shackleton or something. It was on my list of things to try and figure out, and I called Nick's the other day and completely forgot to ask them 2 questions. One, what is the difference between the Urban Logger and the Builder Pro? Except I think the Builder Pro is just more customizable. I'm not sure. So if anybody knows that, you can drop it in the comments and educate me, because I don't feel like calling them back. And if you know what's the exact difference between the Predator Orange and the brown Shackleton or something, maybe you could add that to the conversation. Let's see. Raw denim. Yeah. Black Bear Selvage Free Note. What's this one? Oh, leather laces. Yeah. So that's pretty much most of the list, unless I have something on the back here. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything that I wanted to mention. This is all about motorcycle jackets. Okay. Oh, the bison thing. I do want to talk about the bison thing because I did order those bison boots from 3 different companies now in slightly different styles. So I might have to do another follow-up video on that for the people who aren't going to watch 30 minutes of this, because this is 10 minutes longer than I thought it would be, but not terrible, I hope. I'm waiting to find out how the bison will wear. But 2 and now 3, actually the new one, 3 of my pairs I didn't. The first pair, the Truman ones, I bought those to be my heavy duty outdoor boots before I had actual heavy duty outdoor boots, and I was assuming that they would be heavy duty enough. But I tried to put them on the other week and they were still tight on my foot, and I didn't feel like smashing my foot that day, so I took them right back off. I haven't tried to wear them since because I've been wearing some other ones and I did to do chores around the house. So I took off the Challenger boots and actually put on the JK boots. And then the chore actually ended up not taking long enough that I could have probably done it in totally different shoes entirely than work boots, but whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about the temper and the quality and the longevity and all that of the Bison boots yet. But I do want to call attention to it that, again, when I do a wear review, it will be because I have enough wear on them that I can actually make an educated video rather than well, they still seem nice after a week, kind of thing. And some other stuff, like I said, and so somebody had asked me, do you actually, wear your boots or play your guitars? And I was like, well, I do, just not on your schedule, apparently. Oh, well, tune in next year. Maybe things will have changed or advanced in the direction that you were hoping, but it's not. Again, I'm kind of subject to the weather. I'm kind of subject to my moods. I do tend to take a boot that is not really a proper walking shoe and go walking in it for the discomfort of my, feet to break them in or get used to them or whatever. But other ones I don't want to wear until I absolutely need them, like say the Edward boot, because that will look better uncreased if I wear it for a holiday thing. I think I mentioned this in the Grant Stone video, but I'll say it again anyway, in case you didn't watch that one before you watched this one. Yeah, I mean, so no, I'm not going to take those out of the box and just go walk around the neighborhood in them and get them all, messed up before I wear them with a nice outfit that will look better with uncreased boots. Yeah, I might get blisters that day wearing them around, but it'll be not a walking heavy activity day anyway. It'll be a sitting around the table or opening gifts or something kind of day. If I don't, end up, well, usually days like that, I end up wearing a kilt anyway, so I'm not going to be wearing those boots at all. I'll probably be wearing the wingtip boots or some other kilt-friendly shoes, but still, it's the holiday-ish time, so a boot like that, might get slotted in more easily than a creased-up Thursday boot or something that, I've tried to do wear reviews on and things before already. Like, let me wear this as often as I can for a month or two, just so I can do a video and not be the guy who never does follow-up videos. Anyway. So, yeah, I guess that's about all for a Friday night when I didn't know I was going to be making a video, but like I said, I wanted to get this one out. So maybe people can watch it over the weekend. And then if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and that will help you before all these insane Black Friday sales and deals and things expire. If you don't really know how to shop for boots or where to begin or what you think you would be better owning than what you already own or what you thought you might want to own or whatever. So, because like I said before, this is not the buy things because I buy them channel. This is, why I buy them. Maybe that's why you should buy them channel, I guess, right? Okay, signing off.